Just one. I see Alicia and Big Will from Rising Stars. Just one example of what's going on here. They have a school in a shopping center, and I don't know if any of you have toured it, but this kid has. And you would be amazed at the education kids that were not getting an education in the public school system and being successful today. And you're denying that. That cannot stand. I hope this board, and this is what you were elected to do, is make an independent decision what's best for the kids of this district and the kids of that school, potential school that could help kids who cannot get an education that they deserve somewhere else. At this point, it's been a very long road. But I'd like to see, because like I said, put out the record, and the allegations that were made, I really hope are not true, but I suspect they are. Because as this district knows, and up till recently, we can pull the records of the stuff that's happened for me personally with this district and the conduct that's went on. This board tonight should approve this charter school. Give them a chance. And then more importantly, give the kids that don't have that chance a chance to succeed and have a great education that they deserve so that they can be successful and live the life they want to live.
Thank you. Okay, so that concludes the speakers on this item. So now we have a resolution in front of us, and board members, do you have any comments or any questions for staff?
I have a question. How many charter schools do we have within our school district boundaries, do you know? I know that there are many of them already. And so how many do we already have?
I'm not sure of the number. We didn't approve any of them that exist here.
But nonetheless, we have many. My biggest concern is special education. I've always been an advocate of special education. I'm concerned about special education, students going to this school thinking that they're going to get the same services that they get here. Then they're not able to get those services and they come back to our district and they've lost so much time while they've been out looking for services somewhere else. I don't see a strong special ed program. At the last meeting that they were talking about doing their special ed with El Dorado County. Now it looks like El Dorado is out, and now they're going to do it with Desert Mountain Charter SELPA, which they have not had approval for yet. I'm concerned about the special education portion of this charter application. That's my biggest concern, probably. Also location, because last time they were going to be located somewhere near Creekside. Now they're going to be located somewhere near Sugar Hill, and I'm not sure where they're going to put all these students. Those are my two biggest concerns.
Thank you. Board members, before we go to the next board member and for comments, I would like to see if the attorney can address somehow some of the concerns that were raised by the public comments. Can you address some of that, please?
First of all, I'd like to point out that we evaluate the petition as submitted, and that is the resolution before you tonight, is whether to approve or deny the petition we received, without back and forth, without clarification, without answers to questions, and those are what our findings are based on. Now, that said, we did seek to be transparent through this process. I know Ms. Maddox reached out earlier last week, earlier than the commenters alleged, and to obtain a meeting with the lead petitioner to go over the findings, and that was accomplished. And the findings presented tonight are completely based on those findings that were reviewed with her. as far as the allegations about public comment, I know the last board meeting, we provided, there was additional time left over, and we sought comment from anyone on the subject, and that extra time was not taken advantage of. Let's see, and as far as our findings, we stand by them. They are sufficient grounds for denial. We did not make assumptions on the facility. We read the information provided. I'm presuming that the assumption was on the shopping center piece, but that is what it appears to be based on the letter of intent. Each finding has a page number referencing the specific part of the petition. So these findings are based on facts that can be referenced directly in the petition. They're not just subjective opinions. Let's see, were there other specific concerns you'd like me to address?
No, well, let's hear
Okay,
the board members,
sure.
and then maybe you can come back and
Of course.
address some more. Any other comment?
Well, I just have one. How long how much time did you spend on investigating and going through their petition?
I started as soon as I received a digital copy of the petition. So the petition was submitted minutes before the winter break of the district. As soon as that winter break was over, I received the petition and started. So I believe that was early January. So we have taken time to thoroughly review.
That was my point. So we've had some time to
Yes.
thoroughly investigate it.
And that time has been a process with district administration too. So I represent legal counsel. I work with a team of lawyers for that piece, and then also several district staff reviewed as well. So this is a joint effort that reflects all of those components.
Okay. That's the only question I have.
You know, while I commend the charter for what they want to accomplish for the students, I really do. But I do have the concerns on the how. You know, as an educator, you know, it sounds there's all types of things we want to do for our students. We do that in the K-12. And I understand that, but to provide all and meet all the educational needs of all the students, both special education, English learners, while being fiscally sound, I have grave concerns, you know, with the charter as presented.
Okay, any additional comments, questions?
I don't have any.
No? Ms. Maddox, do you have any other comment? Dr. Consuelo, no? Okay, you know, I think that when the petition is received and we have staff in the district office, members of staff that have been in education for years and years and years, reviewing this petition as a team, going over every item in the petition, and they have a process that this is not the first time that's put in place. And when we have the legal team going over the petition item by item, and I wanted to ask, but I think you just said it. Are you the only one reviewing from your team, from the legal team?
No, I am not. So I'm part of a legal team of attorneys with even more experience than I have, and we represent school districts in 300 districts statewide. We've seen hundreds and hundreds of petitions.
That was going to be my question. How many petitions have you reviewed over your experience and your team's experience?
Yeah, I have, excuse me, I have reviewed several myself, but even the office managing partner of our firm has looked at this petition.
And your firm is all over the state of California, is that correct?
Correct.
So you have reviewers everywhere,
Yes,
not just in this area here.
correct, statewide.
So, and I don't have any doubt that the review was done properly with the district team, the legal team. Everything was followed according to the Ed Code, according to requirements. in your opinion?
Yes.
Correct. So the recommendation is there. So I want to hear from the board members if we're ready to accept the recommendation from staff and from the attorneys. And I would entertain a motion to go that direction.
I don't have any more questions.
I'm looking for a motion to accept the recommendation of staff and the legal team.
Okay, well, I'll make the motion that this petition be denied.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
There's a motion and a second to deny, just to make clear, to deny the petition.
Yes.
Is that correct? Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Dr. Locke,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson,
Aye.
Mr. Holguin.
Aye. So that's the result. The petition is denied. 4-0. Thank you again to the district team. Thank you to the legal team. We appreciate your effort and your work on this. So now we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. And that item is the superintendent's report. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Hogan, I wanted to ask if you would change the agenda. I see some of the families in our community out here that have had to be here for this portion of the meeting, and they came to see their children recognized, and some of them are asleep now. And I feel bad, Miss Neri, that you sat there through this, and your children are here, and you're all supporters of the district, and I don't want you to sit here any longer. So, Mr. Holguin, I would like to propose that we move the recognition portion of the meeting, just for this meeting, to now, because all these parents are here, these children are here. It's now almost 8 o'clock, and by the time I got through with the superintendent's report and the student reports, we'd be here. It'd be 8:30 or closer to 9. So, and we did this last time they were here, and I just think it'd be good for our public to know we appreciate them, we value their time, and that we want to recognize your children and your families for being here. So, would you be comfortable with that?
Any objections, board members,
No,
for that
I
change?
think it's a great
Not at
idea.
all? So
this case
we'll make the change. Dr. Katsura, thank you for making the recommendation. My only invitation to the public is that, the reason why we have the superintendent's report ahead of the students' or the recognitions is to present a lot of information of the programs and the activities that are taking place in the school district, almost every school or every program. So my recommendation is that if you have time to watch the movie, to watch the video of the meeting, I would recommend you do that at a later time. So we're going to make the change, and we're going to move on to the recognitions at this time. So,
I
Yes,
know
sir.
I just asked for something, but I also want to ask for something else. I have a community member here really quick. It was part of my report, and anyway, everybody thought this was going to be sooner. But I wanted to ask if you would come forward. I'm doing this, I know, out of order, and I apologize. And you've said what we're going to do. And as soon as they come up, we can go to, if this is okay.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Goins, Joshua, and Mr. Yakuba Brown, who's the founder of Family is All That Matters, the Next Level Athletic Alliance, Moreno Valley. Would y'all come forward? Is somebody with you? No, I hate that. But, I just want you to know I appreciate all of you being here. We do. And these children, when I watch them fall asleep, I know that, they go to bed earlier than we all do. So we are going to move this along, and know that we recognize that. So I just want you to know how much you matter to us. And Mr. Goins, thank you for coming tonight and addressing the board, and thank you for all that you do for our community and our schools.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. K. And I call him Dr. K because I always call him Dr. K. Anyhow, this last year, 2018, I became the president of the NLAA Bears Youth Football and Cheer Organization. And I quickly found out that in order for us to be successful, we had to be very involved with Moreno Valley Unified School District. And we received a lot of help, a lot of assistance. It was as if we were a part of your team. And for that, I'm grateful. And so I'd like to present two awards. This one is to present it to Dr. Kizora and Moreno Valley Unified School District Board of Education. And we've made you guys an honorary team member. So you guys are on the team, yes. And it says the NLAA Bears and Phi Item Group appreciate your assistance and commitment to excellence of our youth. And so this is presented to you tonight. I'll bring this up in a second. And then also, I had the pleasure of working with a lot of, the school district individuals, professionals, and it just made my job that much easier. And I'm so grateful for that. And so this one is also for your assistance and commitment to excellence, presented to Moreno Valley Unified School District. So again, I'm grateful, I'm thankful for all of the support and the help that you guys allowed our organization to help out our youth, whether it was in sports education. So again, thank you so much, and thank you for having me here tonight to present this.
Mr. Goins, I want to also, you had a chance to work with Mrs. Dagnall, and I wanted to recognize her because some of her team, I think, is here from facilities, and are they here tonight? Maybe not. But I just want you to know that I appreciate what you're saying about how people try to help people here. And Mrs. Dagnall did not know you, and I did. And I said to her, "Would you please, help me with Mr. Goins?" And she said, "Absolutely." And so I want to make sure she's recognized for her efforts and how she tries to support the community and support you with all of the work that you do.
Yes, absolutely, Ms. Sina. We had a chance to speak, and I've worked with many of your team members on a regular basis. And again, I'm so grateful and thankful for you stepping in and assisting, and again, just making it an easy process. Again, my first year as president took on a whole lot, but was able to work through it with all of your assistance. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have to, before we go down, we have three resolutions. We have three resolutions that we have to approve before we have to vote on. And the first resolution is number 2018-1955, Black History Month, February 2019. I will entertain a motion in a second.
Second.
Motion in a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hogan?
Aye, that resolution is approved. Next one is 2018-1956, Career and Technical Education Month. Need a motion in a second to approve that
I
resolution.
move that we
please.
approve Career and Technical Education Month.
I second.
So motion in a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hogan?
Aye. So that is approved. And the last resolution is 2018-1960, adopting the official proclamation for National School Breakfast Week. Need a motion in a second to approve that resolution.
I'd like to make the motion.
I'll second that.
There's a motion in a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hogan?
Aye. So that is approved too. So now we can go down for the rest of the recognitions.
That's not. We don't do this right now.
Yeah, we do that for now.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm going to start it off. Where is Kim Taylor here? Kim? Oh, there she is, right there. When I was at home reading through all of these, you can come over here. You can just stand in front. But before I give it to you, I'm going to say a few things. When I was at home reading these, especially when I got to the Black History Month. It reminded me of the Footsteps to Freedom tour several of us took during the summer. Anybody in here has taken that tour? 2 or 3 or 4, okay. Well, if you get a chance to take that tour, by all means, go on it. I will tell you, I went on it. I did not want to go on it. But then I had someone, twisting my arm and saying, you should go because you don't know everything. I added that point. They didn't really say that, so I'm adding that. So I made up in my mind to go. It's one of the best tours I've ever been on, and I learned so much. Things that I thought I knew that I really didn't know. So before I get too emotional about that, if you have a chance to go on that Footsteps of Freedom, by all means, go. So tonight we're going to, we have a resolution here. It's called Black History Month, February 2019. I'm going to read the short version. So Ms. Taylor, by the way, Ms. Taylor has a new position in our district. So we don't just walk the walk, we also talk the talk. So when we say we're going to do something, we go out and we do it. So Ms. Taylor, would you please tell them what your job title is and what you do, just briefly, before I read this?
Good evening. I'm the African American Parent Involvement Specialist. And so I work with all of the APACs in the district, and we come together and we really try to work out solutions to support the students and the parents to make sure that our kids succeed.
Thank you very much. So tonight it's our pleasure to approve a resolution in recognition and support of February as Black History Month. The history of African Americans parallels and intertwines with the entire history of the United States. The innumerable contributions of African Americans, and this is where Footsteps of Freedom was so very instrumental, to the richness of culture and inventions found in our country's history are still being revealed to the larger American community. Guy like me, I told you I just went last summer and I didn't believe what I saw. All Americans need to know more about the long history of African American achievements, which for too long was overlooked in public schools' curriculum. So tonight, the school board enthusiastically adopts this resolution in support of Black History Month and urges all members of our community to join us in expanding our appreciation for the countless contributions made to our nations by the African Americans. And again, if you get a chance to go on the Footsteps to Freedom, don't worry about the crying thing. I'm a man and I don't cry, but I cried every day I was there. So with that, I'd like to present this to you, Ms. Kim, and then you could say a few words, please. And this is my buddy here.
On behalf of the African American Advisory Council, we would like to thank Moreno Valley Unified for celebrating Black History Month, as we have. Every school that I've been to in the last couple of weeks have had great programs, and I look forward to seeing the rest of them coming out. So parents, please support your school in attending the programs that are going on there.
All right, next we have Career and Technical Education Month. I'd like Kristen Hunter, Director of College and Career Ready, to please join me. Tonight, we approved a resolution in recognition of February as Career and Technical Education Month. As a district, we believe in the importance of making education relevant. Many students, we encourage college. We encourage students to go to college. Some students are just not interested in going to college and have other interests. They're interested in welding, they're interested in warehousing, they're interested in maybe getting into a technical career path that doesn't require a 4-year degree. Sometimes they don't have the interest, they don't have the money, they don't want to go into debt, and they want to find another career path. So part of our Career and Technical Education program is to help ignite new interest in students and help them chart a path to successfully enter into full-time careers in fields that they may never have before considered. We want to expose them to these fields in high school. This resolution is also in recognition of the partnerships with businesses and industry that make the CTE offerings possible, and that in many cases provide a path to employment, often locally in expanding fields offering new opportunities. The Moreno Valley Unified School District Board recognizes the importance of career and technical education and urges the community to support and participate in CTE programs in ways that will further support student academic achievement and post-graduation success. Thank you. If I can get all that out. Thank you. Could you say a few words, please?
On behalf of the CTE teachers and all of our students in our CTE programs, I'd like to thank the board and the district for this resolution. And I'm just honored to say we have 23 CTE programs in our district, varying from welding and manufacturing to EMT and medical assisting, cyber technology, you name it, pretty much we have it. We're going to grow next year to fire science and public service and police and other programs like that. So we're really excited about this, and we just want to thank all of you. And if you need any information, just give me a call, Kristen Hunter at the district office. Thank you.
Okay, I have the honor of doing the proclamation for National School Breakfast Week. Will Carla Ryder please join me at the podium? Carla is the Director of Nutrition Services. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, there are 14.6 million children participating nationwide in the school breakfast program. In Moreno Valley, we offer a free breakfast to all of our students. On an average, students who eat school breakfast have been shown to achieve 17.5% higher scores on standardized math tests, and they attend 1.5 more days of school each year. It's a fact that children who are getting proper nutrition learn better and achieve more. So with this proclamation tonight, the Moreno Valley Unified School Board of Trustees expresses its enthusiastic support for the week of March 4th through the 8th as the National School Breakfast Week.
Good evening, and I am so thrilled about the enthusiastic support for National School Breakfast. I encourage each and every one of you to participate and to be the best examples you can be in your households by eating a wholesome breakfast and sending your kids to school. School breakfast is important because it improves student performance. It improves memory. They present with better math scores and reading scores. And if I could give you a pill that would make your kids do better in school, you take it with a big gulp of water. So this is it. Eat breakfast, especially during National School Week. Thank you so much.
Good evening. It is my honor tonight to acknowledge all of our recognitions for our staff and students. We're going to start with attendance. Attendance obviously is very important because students cannot learn unless they're in school. So we're going to acknowledge the schools that had a very high ADA attendance for our past month. So let me go ahead and call the schools. Anyone from the schools, if you're here, if you could please come up. We're going to start with our elementary winner for last month, Northridge Elementary, with a 96.3 ADA positive attendance. Northridge, I see Mr. Wade Hamilton. Thank you. The students, anyone from Palm that wants to come on up? Northridge, I'm sorry, I read all your Palm. Northridge, anyone? Northridge, you know, Dr. Gashera will go looking for you, so you come on up.
Let me just explain real quick, it's just a second. We're honoring Black History Month and Random Acts of Kindness Month. So this week, students have learned about Dr. Martin Luther King and kindness and peaceful protest.
Right there, you might as well.
And yesterday, we had our Spirit Week. Yesterday was Superpower. Kindness is a superpower. And so we had our superheroes. Remember that? We had a special visitor, Dr. Kaziora, Captain America. And today is Team Up for Kindness, hence athletic wear. Tomorrow is College Day, which is always Wednesday. Kindness goes a long way in learning college. If you're smart, you're kind. And then on Valentine's Day, we'll finish up. But it's a special week for us, celebrating Black History Month and Random Acts of Kindness. So thank you for the recognition.
Should we do the banner? Should we do the banner with everybody? Y'all hold on to this. Y'all hold it up. Y'all make it happen here. This is your award. This is yours. There we go. Put your hands up. That's right. Siri, put your hands on it.
The banner, Patty. Are you ready to hear the middle school? Landmark. Landmark. Anyone from Landmark? I see Mr. Walker. Anyone? Students, staff from Landmark. Their attendance is a 96.3. Okay, that is the highest for 2 months in a row. The high school with a 96.3 ADA. Valley View, would you please come up to be recognized? Valley View. Eagles, let's go. We now would like to recognize Palm Middle School STEAM Academy Robotic Team Awards from Legoland. I'm going to read this to get it correct because this is very important that we hear this. The Board of Education would like to honor and recognize Palm Middle School STEAM Academy Robotic Teams, STEAM Dream, and STEAM Pominators for attending their first Lego League's Southern California Championship at Legoland and getting 10 and 12th place out of 60 teams at the tournament. Congratulations! So students, I'm going to call your name, and some of your names are going to help me with the pronunciation because this is your time and we need to make sure that we say your name correctly. So I might ask you to come and say your last name for me. And I'm going to start with the first one. Noor? Noor, say your last name. Come on.
Abdul Wahab.
No, sit here.
Abdul Wahab.
Holden Bowman George. Melinda Jin. Carlos Marquez. Cesar Martinez. Emiliano Melendres. Oscar Morales. Emmanuel Nava. Irene Neri. Logan Oglesby. Aaron Fan. Caitlin Fan. Jasvir Sekon, Makayla Williams, and Timothy Williams. I'd like to also acknowledge they were coached by Kyle Gerhardt and Amy Bird. Thank you, coaches. Thank you. We now are moving on to acknowledge all the students that received the highest scores on a test that we give in the spring called the CAS. It tests our students in English and in math to see if they reach mastery. And these students have achieved the highest scores. So students, I'm going to call your name. Also, principals, some of you students have changed grades. So if you were in 8th grade, you might be in 9th grade. So we have your previous principal and your current principal. So I'm going to call you and announce the school where you are. But if your previous principal is here, we also need to acknowledge. So let's start with the highest scores in English Language Arts from Badger Springs. And if we have Ms. Mexico here, we have Rebecca Lopez, Stephanie Gomez, from Landmark, we have Lauren Sapp. From Valley View, Erin Engelbrechtston. From Valley View, Wahasit Lema. It's okay if you guys tell me I said your name wrong. From Palm, we have Fasami Tialino, Madison Chow, Enzo Angelo Cayetano. From Sunny Mead Middle, we have Javier Rosas Uros. From Moreno Valley High School, Mariana Navarrete. From Vista Heights, we have Michelle Yumiko. From Canyon Springs, Jacqueline Aravalo and Ashelia Brown. These have scored the highest scores in English Language Arts. Can we have a hand? That is really, really hard. Ms. Kerr's right there. Now we're going to acknowledge the students, the middle school students with the highest scores in math. Are you ready? Math. Here comes math. From Palm, we have Joshua Alonso, Jesus Ruiz, Sofia Covarrubias, Mario Avery Costello. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Now, these are from Valley View, but you know, I need to acknowledge that they were at Palm last year too. So these Valley View students were 8th graders at Palm. Tharushi. I'm not going to attempt her last name. Is she here? I was going to have her say it. Okay. Jehiathan. Fiona Lorraine Wee Eng. Amory Martin. Amory, congratulations to these students. I'm going to call Mr. Greg Solomon to assist me now in recognizing the teachers that have received STEAM certificates in our district. We do train our teachers in STEAM, and our teachers work very hard for this certificate. So, Mr. Solomon, can you say a few words? Just.
Can I invite the UCR representative?
That's who we're going to invite right now.
Thank you very much. I would first like to invite our representative from the University of California, Riverside, Ms. Annette Webb, who will be joining us for this. And if we can ask all of the STEAM certificate people who have earned that STEAM certificate and the instructors to come up, please. We'd like to recognize everybody. Just go ahead and come up now. The school district has a definition of STEAM, which is to ignite to ignite innovation and expression through interdisciplinary instruction. And it's about combining science, technology, engineering, art, and math. That is important. And these folks went through a process of 4 classes offered in conjunction and partnership with the University of California, Riverside. But I'd like to first, before we give the certificates, acknowledge the instructors that participated. We had Dr. Amna Ahmad. We had Joanne Katona. Just make sure I get them all. We had Kalela Lewis. Rebecca Buckoff. Stacy Lerma. And they let me crash in for a couple of courses as well. I want to introduce Annette Webb to you just to let her tell you a little bit about the extension program at UCR.
Hi, everyone. Members of the board, superintendent, and community members. My name is Annette Webb. I am the Associate Dean of Academic Programs at UCR Extension. And on behalf of the university, I want to thank Moreno Valley Unified for their longstanding partnership with UCR, and especially around educator preparation and teacher training. I also want to recognize and thank the Professional Development Unit at Moreno Valley Unified for their collaborative approach to teacher education and STEAM education particularly. It was my pleasure to work with these dedicated educators to co-develop a 12-unit University of California and Moreno Valley Unified School District STEAM education certificate. This certificate, along with its courses and instructors, were approved by the UCR Academic Senate Committee on University Extension. That committee is comprised of faculty members from across the campus's schools and colleges. By aligning Moreno Valley Unified School District's professional development objectives for STEAM education with the academic quality and rigor standards for the University of California, The educators who completed this certificate program have achieved a high level of theoretical and practical knowledge that makes them a more valuable employee. It's my honor to be here tonight to present the first STEAM education graduates with their certificates. And in the letter that accompanies their certificate, that's from our dean, Dr. Kevin Vaughn, he recognizes that this achievement has not only required their personal sacrifice, but it also requires the patience and support of their loved ones. Because not only are they working all day in the classroom, but then they're taking courses in addition so that they can improve their competency. So you are to be congratulated for your hard work and your dedication. Thank you.
I'm going to ask that you hold the applause until we read all the names. Not all of the participants are here tonight. There were 24 that have earned certificates. So I'm going to read them all so they're on record as having earned it. But those that are here tonight will get them, and we'll get the certificates to those that aren't here tonight. So please hold your applause. Barbara Alvarado, Heidi Avila, Mary Baez, Patricia Barker Hatch, Elsa Celio, Daniela Couples, Davina Elbow, Juan Flores, Marisol Gallegos, Kyle Gerhardt, Leticia Gomez, Rachel Greaves, Adriana Hidalgo, Anne Giron, Karina Jones, Courtney Kane, Kenneth Miralles, Mark Morton, Ifiona Opara, Alicia Patino, Christine Schmidt, Giovanna Shelby, Matei Siener, and Matthew Story. Please give them a hand.
Get a little more friendly on that. Ready? Come on. 2, 3. One more. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're going to now continue with the schools with the highest completion rate of the California College Guidance Initiative, CCGI, and I'm going to ask our Director of College and Career, Mrs. Hunter, to please come on up. These schools are being acknowledged for the completion of lessons and milestones that the students take they help the students recognize not only what they're interested in high school, but beyond in college for college and career. So it's very important that our students have these options and that they complete them to help assist them in identifying what they're interested in for their majors in college or their jobs after. So let's start with Badger Springs Middle School that had a 93% participation, completion. Mrs. Mexico. Moreno Valley High School with 55%, Ms. Brown. March Valley High School, 43%, Mr. Quintero. Thank you. And while you're up here also, all staff from these schools, it would be great to have you up here. We want to also acknowledge Moreno Valley High School. They had the highest percentage of senior students who completed at least one CSU college application through California Colleges. Go Vikings, Moreno Valley High School. Congratulations.
Guys, don't go too far. Miss Brown, don't go too far. Oh, you got
We now like to acknowledge our comprehensive high schools and all the work that they have done to support our students, to provide programs and services for their graduation rate. I want to acknowledge that in the district has an 89.3% graduation rate, but all of our high schools have over 92% graduation rate. So Moreno Valley High School's graduation rate is higher than the California average and also the county average for graduation. That's a hard feat to have a comprehensive high school reach this level of graduation. And Dr. Kitzier would like to say a few words.
Higher than the state, the national, the
Okay.
county, the state, and the national.
Higher than the national, state, and county. Okay. Valley View High School, 94.2. I'm going to say everything. Valley View. If I can have anyone from Valley View come and be acknowledged for your graduation rate. Any students from Valley View, we're going to call you. Then we're going to have Canyon Springs High School, 93.4. Please, Mrs. Kerr. Anyone from, let's go, Canyon Springs. Vista del Lago, the Ravens, 92.7. A lot of work. Thank you for that, Mr. Swanson. And Moreno Valley High School at 92%.
Are you doing all schools?
Yes.
Oh.
These are our comprehensive high schools, our 4 comprehensive high schools standing before you with a 92% rate or higher for their students graduating from our district. Congratulations.
Hold on.
get done taking the picture, I just want everyone to know that's out there, and this is no small feat what's happened here in our district. About 7 years ago, the graduation rate was like 69%. And this is really the vision of the Board of Education and the school district to have a higher graduation rate. And our principals' expectations, every school, we want them to be at 90%, but we really want 100%. But I want you to know, achieving this is quite an accomplishment this evening. And each principal, each school is given a memorial plaque to hang in their school to recognize this happening. But I want you to think about the increase in that. It went from like 69 to 93.4 at one school, 94.2 at another, 92 at the others. That's huge. So this represents a significant change in the culture in the district and how students perform and how students, the expectations, there are higher expectations, not lower. I mean, you don't graduate just because you want to. You have to do stuff. And those things are happening. And everyone that's in our community should be very proud. Mr. Jacobs, I don't see you you should be up here. You're with MVA. Aren't you excited? You work at, come on up here, and show that to me, and Esperanza Arce, you're the director of secondary. Why aren't you up here, Okay, tweet, That's what they do in Val Verde. This is Moreno Valley. We take photos, okay? And we shout it out here at the board meeting. That's what they did in Val Verde, but I'm welcome to Moreno Valley, okay? So, come on up here. I know you learned that from Mike McCormick and everything. I'm going to show you some other stuff. It didn't flash, friends. What happened?
The first one's good. That's all.
Esperanza, they want to shake your hand. They want to shake your hand.
Congratulations.
I would now like to acknowledge the two students that were awarded the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Essay Contest winners. These two students were awarded scholarships during the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Breakfast sponsored by Moreno Valley College and our district. Students were prompted to research and write essays based on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s The Three Evils of Society's speech from 1967. So this was, their speeches were assessed by a committee. We're very proud of these students. So can I please have Cassandra Barcenas from Canyon Springs High School, if Cassandra is here. And also Michelle Shun from Moreno Valley High School. If not, let's acknowledge the principals. Moreno Valley and Canyon Springs, may I please have Ms. Kerr and Ms. Brown? I'm sure you will share this with your students and congratulate them on our behalf. Thank you.
You have got to. Thank you, Sandy.
Can we have one final hand for all of the students and staff tonight? It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think this is mine.
Okay, so we're going to make another change. We're going to allow the students to go home. Before they go home, we're going to hear the reports. Please.
Can the student representative from Bridges Learning Center come forward?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Keziora, members of the cabinet, and the community of Moreno Valley at home. My name is Tracy Blanco, and I'm pleased to announce to you all the Titan activities are having at Bayside Community Day School. Bayside was extremely pleased to have hosted our Term 2 Award Assembly. We recognize those students who exhibited Titan excellence. It was nice to see all of the parents there, and they were reminded it is their presence their children appreciate more so than receiving presents. PBIS awards were earned for passion for learning, respect for others, integrity in all things, and dedication to growth. Those students who earned all four received the Excellence Award. Retail sales marketing classes were introduced to a stock market game to better learn stocks. English is continuing tonight to read Night by Elie Wiesel. This is one of the novels read in the Freedom Rider Foundation and English models that program. Sue Ellen, a former Freedom Rider, came to Bayside and gave a testimony to our students. The room was quiet and her story was impactful. Math is working on angle relationships and parallel lines cut by a transversal. Physical education is holding soccer trials and utilizing our awesome weight room for concentrating on full body workouts with cardio. Fine arts has film studies working on the use of color and film and how it can be used in storytelling. Journalism is putting the final touches on the Titan Times newsletter. Mixed media is exploring size and scale by taking small objects and creating larger-than-life sculptures. Science to continue with STEM so the students can receive more tools in their belt for their future. The MVUSD Science Fair is also held at our school Bayside. Extracurricular opportunities continue with the Fashion Cup FNL, ASB, among other stuff. In addition, some other awesome news is Giovanni Santos Sanchez in the 5th grade participated in the spelling bee from Mavoa. Music Changing Lives has came back to our campus as of January, so our hope is to create another song this year to continue our award-winning status. They rewarded our students a trophy and money for this creative song Graduation Time. Our hope is to continue with the album Bayside Beats with the new song creation this year. Our guidance department continues to work with MVC for a college experience every month. A majority of our students that pursue higher education will attend Moreno Valley College, so we are thankful for their partnership and opportunities like the Promise Initiative and student tours. Ms. Kim Williams, our new guidance counselor, facilitates tardy makeup at lunch to take away excuses. Lunchtime opportunities are successful. Mr. Brown, as our new assistant principal, is making relationships and is doing great. Coming up, we have LPAC summative testing a pair night, the window for PFT, opens a blood drive, progress reports, Dr. Phil, pennies for patients, and active through FNL. These are just some of the wonderful opportunities we have at Bayside. Our school is a small community and to most feels like a second family. I thank you for the opportunity to share. I thank you for caring about our school. And most importantly, I thank you for this opportunity for myself to gain public speaking experience. Again, my name is Trinity Blanco, and I am proud to be the student representative for Bayside. Have a great evening, everyone.
Can the representative from Canyon Springs High School come forward, please?
Hello, good evening, board members, Dr. Ketsiora, and cabinet and community of Moreno Valley. My name is Guadalupe Gomez, and I am pleased to announce all of the fantastic activities that have occurred at Canyon Springs since our last report. We've had a number of teams competing in academic and athletic contests since our last report. Winter Drumline competed at Great Oak High School in their first season with the Southern California Percussion Alliance and took third place. Winter Guard performed at Jurupa Valley High School in a non-scoring show in preparation for their first competition of the season in 2 weeks at the Vista Murrieta High School show. Our girls basketball team and girls water polo teams went to the first round of CIF playoffs this year and performed admirably. Girls and boys wrestling are sending 7 and 4 qualifiers, respectively, to the CIF Southern Section Wrestling Champions this weekend. Our AFJ ROTC unit competed in an academic bowl against 600 other ROTC units, with questions that covered a wide range of topics. They advanced to the second round, and if they finish in the top 5, they will go on to the final round in Washington, D.C. Cyber Patriots has 2 teams advancing to the national semifinals, the Air Force JROTC Gold All-Service Division and the All-Girls Cyber Team Silver Open Division teams. Academic Decathlon just finished their competition themed the 1960s, a transformational decade. We sent 10 science fair projects onto the district level competition, and 1 has moved on to the county competition. As a celebration of Black History Month, our AA, PAC, and BSU are hosting an evening of Black excellence themed Be the Light. It's not in this paper, but the event will be on Thursday the 28th at our school, Canyon Springs High School, in the theater. Spoken word performances will be featured along with band and choir, who will highlight music from Black artists and spirituals. Students with the GPAs over 3.0 will also be recognized and rewarded at this evening event. A reception will follow the program. We will also host our WASC Revisit team February 25th through the 26th, and we are eagerly waiting their visit to show them our progress in the action plan, as well as our new programs and facilities since their last visit. ASB is currently very busy. We just held our winter formal on Saturday at the beautiful Citrus Park in Riverside and came back to the school this week to finish our preparations for this year's high school preview day, which is in fact tomorrow. We are planning a spring club rush to allow clubs who have formed after the fall club rush to promote themselves, as well for the existing clubs to get a jump start on next year's club roster. Our annual SH prom for our special needs students is coming soon. The Hawaiian Nights themed dance will occur on Friday, March 8 in our gym. Just before we go on spring break, we will also hold our second annual staff versus student game. Our staff won last year, so the student team will try to take the trophy this year. Linkru is hosting a transcripts and tea event next week where freshmen will come to review the transcripts with counselors, and they will be able to talk to Link leaders for tips and help in getting through their second semester. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good report. Thank you.
Can the representative from Moreno Valley High School come forward, please?
Good evening, school board members, Dr. Katsura, cabinet, and community of Moreno Valley. I am Humberto Rojo, the ASB president. I'm here to share the exciting happenings at our school and how we are continuing to move towards our district's LCAP goals and expectations. Under Goal 1, concerning student achievement, many of our students participated in the District History Day and Place. We are very proud of our students for receiving first place in exhibit, third place in exhibit, and third in website. Good luck to them as they advance to county. Also, 3 amazing science fair projects from our school are going to county level. Under Goal 2, concerning student graduation rates, college, and career readiness. Tomorrow night, our counselors will be hosting a parent AP night so that parents can learn about the AP classes we offer and how the AP program will benefit their children. Our students have started to register for their AP exams. We want to have 100% of all of our AP students sign up before the deadline on March 4th. I would personally like to thank you all for paying for our AP exams. I will be taking the AP Literature exam, AP Calculus, and AP Macro exams thanks to your generosity. It is no wonder that MVUSD has been named AP District of the Year. Congratulations on this great honor. Thank you, Dr. Katsura, the board, and Mrs. Hunter for this opportunity. On February 13th, we will be hosting a Pathway Day to inform all students about the wonderful pathways our school offers to them. On February 22nd, our counselors will be giving out information on FAFSA applications and how to get cash for college. SAT testing will take place on March 9th, 2019. We are proud that 2 of our students have received the full ride scholarship to college. Congratulations to Jaleel Holmes for $200,000 full ride athletic scholarship to Azusa Pacific University, and Rashad Ruff for a full ride academic scholarship to Coppin State University. Rashad currently has a 4.7 GPA. Under Goal 3 concerning a supportive learning environment. Over the last 2 days, many of our teachers attended a district training on Avid strategies to make our campus an Avid school-wide site so all students have access to the Avid systems. On February 8th, Avid held their second 4C Friday event, which occurs weekly to build an Avid community where students participate in fun academic activities that promote collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. Our sports are continuing to excel. We had 3 football players receive CIF honors. Congratulations to Dorian Cole, Jaleel Holmes, and Fidi Mo. Our winter sports teams had a very successful season. Boys soccer advanced to CIF. Girls basketball was first in league and progressed to the second round of CIF. Girls water polo was undefeated in league and went to CIF. Good luck to our wrestlers who will be competing in CIF Masters this coming weekend. This past week we had our winter formal and winter sports assembly. Our theme was A Night in Ancient Greece, and everyone had a really good time. This upcoming Monday, we will be holding our annual senior bowling lock-in at Brunswick Bowling on Cinnamon Boulevard. Dr. Katsura and Mr. Holguin, we know you attended last year and would love to see you there again. Our wonderful BSU has put together some amazing activities to help us celebrate African American History Month. On February 20th, there will be an MVHS African American Student Recognition Program at 5:30 p.m. On February 22nd, there will be lunchtime activities celebrating African American arts and fashion. We had the Footsteps to Freedom program today, and we'll have Dr. Daniel Walker come to talk to our students on February 25th, 2019. Under Goal 4 concerning community stakeholders, students from our social science department supported St. Christopher Catholic Parish by donating over 2,000 food items. Over 150 parents and guests attended our 9th annual Parent Summit on February 2nd. Thank you, Mr. Holguin, for coming out and showing your support. PTO will be hosting a Zumba exercise dance session on February 22nd at 5 p.m. in the NPR. Thank you to the students enrolled in the Teaching Academy assisting with Math Night at Creekside Elementary. This concludes my report. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Good report.
Can I get the I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's been a long night. Can I get the student body representative from Valley View High School to come up, please?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Kedziora, cabinet, and the community of Moreno Valley. My name is Mia Nicholas. At Valley View High School, we are really proud of our Eagles, especially our Eagle Scholars. We held our Eagle Idol Awards on February 1st, and we are proud to announce we had 347 students who had a 3.0 to a 3.4 GPA, a 3.0 to a 3.49 GPA, 303 students who had a 3.5 to a 3.99 GPA, and 286 students who had a 4.0 or above GPA. We also recognized Valley View High School students who received the Seal of Multiliteracy. We are very proud to acknowledge so many of our Eagles for their achievements. On January 26th, we hosted our annual winter formal Soaring Through Time at the March Air Museum. It was a very successful event, and we had a great turnout. The students were excited to interact with their peers in a setting that promotes inclusivity and school spirit. The Eagles are observing Black History Month. Our Black Student Union has planned plenty of events for Black History Month. Every Wednesday and Friday, there will be a lunchtime activity relating to Black culture. On February 11th, the African American Achievement Awards will be honoring the students who earned 3.0 or above. More than 200 African American students will be honored with their GPA of 3.0 or above. Then, BSU will be putting together a showcase at the end of the month filled with poetry, dancing, singing, and other talents that our members have. Our Valley View Advanced Theater will be hosting their annual Senior One Acts. This year we have 6 Senior One Acts. They will be led by seniors that have been in the theater program for all 4 years of high school. The 3 male directors will have their shows on February 28th and March 4th. We invite you to attend and wish our fellow Eagles good luck on their performances. The Valley View Choir went on their annual Northern Arizona University Jazz and Madrigal Festival trip on February 7th and 8th of 2019. The festival is one of the largest festivals of its kind with over 100 choirs participating. For the past 4 years, our choir received the highest rating of Superior, and this year they accomplished it again. Yeah. On February 6th, Montreal had their first round of competition at the Robert Presley Hall of Justice. We wish them good luck as they have their second round of competition tomorrow. On February 27th, we will be having our incoming freshman night to welcome our new Eagles to Valley View High School. Our incoming freshmen will have the opportunity to interact with clubs and programs we have on campus before they start school, so that they don't feel uncomfortable when they make the big transitions from middle school to high school. The clubs will showcase what VVHS has to offer and help make the incoming freshmen's transition much smoother. An update on our Valley View High School sports: wrestler Travis Miller competed on February 8th and 9th and placed 5th at the CIF and is now a two-time Masters. And wrestler Sky Sanchez qualified for the girls CIF. Both tournaments are this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Boys will meet at Cerritos College and girls will meet at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. Our girls' water polo is ranked first in their division of CIF Division 5, and they won their first and second round of CIF. The water polo team will be playing Glendora High School at Riverside City College. Our boys' soccer team is in Division 4 and in their Round 3 semifinals and will play Montclair. The Lady Eagles girls' basketball team will also play Chaminade West Hills High School on Wednesday, February 13th at Valley View High School. Please come out and support our Eagles as they make their way through to a CIF championship. We would also like to congratulate our February Student of the Month, Hope Johnson. As Ms. Johnson says every day, Eagles soar with excellence, they lead with dignity, and they pursue with a purpose. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Yes. Thank you for this report. It's excellent.
Thank you.
I just, on the games that are coming up or the competitions that are coming up, I'm not so clear on the times or the dates, so maybe we can get that information. And then, in addition to that, I would also like to see if it is possible, not tomorrow, but hopefully the next round of the mock trial team.
Yes.
I would like to see if I can go. But
That's going to be in my report.
thank you. Thank you. I just want her to know that we're interested on those activities.
Of course.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Claudia researched all this afternoon and has all that information in here.
Thank you.
Can the student representative from Vista del Lago High School come forward, please?
Good evening, school board members, Superintendent Dr. Kedziora, cabinet, teachers, parents, and community. I am Marina Buhanda, ASB President, representing Vista del Lago High School, and I am here tonight to bring you exciting news from our campus. As we continue the school year, we remain focused on our Raven values of respect, achieve, value, engage, never give up, and succeed, as well as our school motto to take care of yourself, take care of each other, and take care of our school. The annual State of the District took place on January 24th, and our site had the honor and the privilege of hosting this prestigious event. District personnel, site administrators, teachers, classified staff members, community partners, students, families, and friends gathered in our theater to commemorate all the achievements, accolades, and awards earned thus far this school year. It was truly a night of celebration in honor of our greatest year. Our sensational science department facilitated the second site-level science fair and selected 10 entries to complete at the district level. A total of 7 art submissions were chosen to move forward to the county level. In addition, we have 2 incredible Ravens, Lucas Ton and Kevin Mai, who placed second at the district level History Day competition in the category Web Design. They will be going on to compete at the county level. Our English and Math departments met for their monthly Innovative Ed on January 25th and 29th. The English department is seeking additional avenues to expand rigorous course offerings for next year for our underclassmen, such as pre-AP. The math department is piloting a Tier 2 academic support for IM1 and IM2 students who did not successfully pass the fall semester. The math teachers will be using their prep periods to push in to their colleagues' classroom or to pull out of their own to provide immediate support for students experiencing difficulties mastering the content. Our amazing counselors held another Cash for College workshop for students and parents on January 23rd. Students were given the opportunity to receive guidance to apply for FAFSA, Cal Grants, and other forms of aids for college. They would like to deeply express how critical it is to know that there are multiple ways to help subsidize costs for post-graduation education. Our the Riverside County Office of Education utilized Vista Del Lago for their annual academic decathlon on January 26th and February 2nd. We had our own academic decathlon team competing. Congratulations to our 8 participants for representing us so well. The RCOE was so impressed with our facilities and welcoming environment, they already reserved Vista Del Lago High School for next year's academic decathlon. Our winter sports and our cheer team held their senior nights the last couple of weeks. Our wrestling program is having an amazing season. We would like to congratulate our Vista Del Lago male and female wrestlers. Good luck to Gabriel R., Isidoro Sanchez, Joshua Sanchez, Titan Lang, Renee Torres, Jesse Garcia-Nino, Marissa Diaz, and Gigi Lopez at CIF. We would also like to congratulate our girls soccer team for making it to the first round of CIF. We are so proud of the growth in all this winter sports had over the summer. We are now looking forward to what the spring sports has to bring. We would like to wish them the best of luck. This concludes my report. Are there any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Ketziora, teachers, parents, students, and community. I'm Giancarlos Garnarete, ASB president at March Mountain High School and March Valley High School. I'm pleased to report the many fantastic events happening at March Mountain High School. This month, our basketball season started. We have won 2 games so far. We will be having a lot more games, so I would like to see you guys there. This week we have started a love week because everyone has a heart. Even though you guys might have a Grinch heart, it's still there. So come show some love. That's by our March Valley's ASB. Thank God this Friday we're having a 4-day weekend because of our amazing President Abraham Lincoln and President's Day, because God bless America, that's why.
Love it.
On the 20th of February, we'll be having a Java-like meeting in the gym. Then on the 25th of this month, we will be having a earthquake drill, and hopefully it's not as cold as it has been, because I don't want to be freezing outside for like 2 hours. Oh, on the 21st, we will be having a field trip to one of my favorite things, food, at the RCC Culinary Academy. February 22nd, March Valley WAS one day will take place. On February 25th, our 12th graders will be taking our CPR our certification training, which will be a great opportunity for our students to learn a skill that will be able to get them into different jobs. If our seniors are not busy on the 26th, we'll be able to take a NAEP test. And on March 1st, our action classes will be taking a self-defense class, and there will be a rape crisis center presentation. Thank you for. Do you guys have any questions?
Thank you. Great report. Thank you.
All of you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
All of you did a great job.
And thank you to all the students. Thank you for staying this late and for your reports. Excellent reports. So you can go home now. Thanks so much. So, board members, we have before we do the superintendent's report, we have a non-agenda item speaker. I'd like to take this speaker at this point, if it's okay with you. And this is for Tricia Ledoux. Thank you. Thank you. And you have 3 minutes, and I don't know, we can have the timer on the screen. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Here from Valley View High School. I'm here from Valley View High School supporting the track team here. Also former student, former athlete of Valley View. The soccer team, by the way, boys soccer team, a few of them are here. They do play Wednesday at 5 o'clock. We're here because we're concerned about the track bins. We brought this situation up back in September when the bins were not replaced back onto the field after the field was renovated. We were told that it was going to be temporary and that it would be taken care of soon. That was back in September. In December, we were told that they would be painted. They wanted them to be painted to keep the field looking nice, and moved over Christmas break. The bins are still there. It's the middle of February. I don't feel that any progress has been being made. They have this week allowed the students to bring some of the gear down to the field and store it in the visitor side ticket booth and restroom. But going forward, we want those bins permanently moved. Ms. Johnson did aware me this evening that she has, I guess, been approved to move them, but that was also what I was told back in September. So I'm here to get this on the minute so we can follow up with this and get true ETAs. I don't want to keep getting this, oh, it's going to happen soon, it's going to happen soon, it's going to happen soon. It needs to happen now. Track season is here. And these kids were, up until this week, these kids were dragging the equipment, as you can see in the first picture, from the bins all the way down to the field in oncoming traffic while school is out, and then at night in the dark, dragging it all the way back up there. The kids would be at my house sitting there, you know, talking, and they thought it was funny when they're saying, oh, did you guys enjoy our live game of Frogger this evening? The kids think it funny. Me as a parent, I do not think that that is funny at all. That is a concern issue that, you know, I am with these students. Somebody's going to get hurt either dragging the equipment to and from the bins or run over by a car trying to get in between the cars with the equipment. So I'm just hearing your guys' hopefully your support in getting these moved, getting us a true ETA for the students this evening.
Thank you. Is that the end of your comment?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna, it's Ledoux. I'm gonna ask Mrs. Dagnall to step down. She's the chief business official, and Mrs. Arce she oversees athletics for our district. I'd like for them to take you out in the hall and have a discussion with you and about what you asked for, if you don't mind.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay, so we can move on to the superintendent's report?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do y'all want to go out there with her so y'all can hear what's going on, the track team that's here? And the principal, you should go out there too. Y'all shouldn't be, I don't have to tell y'all, but you can go join them, Miss Johnson, and make sure it's the decision you want at your school. And Miss Rivas, support Miss Johnson. That's why you're the assistant principal. You know, tell her what you want and what you want done too. Okay, that's going to clear the room down.
Right, everybody out.
So I'm glad Glenn Jacobs is still here from MVA. I'm proud of you. So thank you for being here tonight, Mr. Jacobs, and representing MVA. Thank you, Mr. Holguin. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as I can, and I want you to know everything I talk about tonight in our report is related to our strategic plan and our LCAP, which has 4 goals in it. One of the things that we believe in Moreno Valley is the 11 commitments to excellence on purpose, and we use this as a tool to assist us in shining brighter when we don't have I don't know if you're going to, who's doing this? Oh, there it is now, okay. I want to recognize people that have demonstrated, using excellence on purpose with the 11 commitments. I'd like for Mr. Swanson from Vista Del Lago High School, if you'd come forward, please. Do you have a certificate? Mr. Swanson is the principal of Vista Del Lago High School, and Mr. Holguin, you were at the I'm trying to hurry like these kids now, you know. And you were at the academic decathlon. Just wait right there, yeah. You're in the limelight. Don't you like this? And when you were there, there was a person that sat in front of us, Mr. Holguin. He'd been doing this for 21 years, and he turned around to you, and he said, I've never been to a school or a district where I've been treated so well. We felt valued, we felt appreciated, we felt like we were wanted here, and that's a tone that's set by leadership. Mr. Swanson that day, who is the father of 2 children in our district and has a wife that teaches in a district in another place, and she could come here if she wanted to. He had also that evening a winter formal. But he made sure that he was there at 7 a.m. Was it 7 a.m. or 6 a.m.? 6:30 that morning with his custodian and his assistant principals to make sure that everything these people had was there. And they said, you know, they sent an email to us and they said, I want to take a minute and let you know both how much I appreciate the assistance we have been provided using the school. Eric Swanson, and do you have a certificate for Don Veliquette? Okay. Have been an absolute pleasure to work with in the planning of our needs. The staff last week went above and beyond in making sure every aspect of the event was accommodated. The custodial help responded quickly to any and all needs. The administration was present the entire day on campus, always available to help with anything we needed. This is the kind of support that we want in all of our schools. We didn't tell you to do this, Mr. Swanson. You did this because you model what you expect those kids to do at that school. Respect, achieve, value, engage, never give up, and succeed. And they walk with that raven pride, and you demonstrated it. But that's part of our 11 commitments, and that's something that, you know, I just want you to know how much the board and we appreciate that you went above and beyond, like they said, to make our district shine brighter with excellence on purpose. So thank you. And then we're going to skip this. We did that. Thank you, Claudia. I don't know if all of you had a chance to be at the State of the District, but it was over 500 people attended. It was standing room only, and we had a document there that was the year in review. And Chris, there's some more upstairs, and if you want to bring some down, you could go get some if you want to. And there's some people in here that might not have it. But Chris Weddle did this video with his team. And I want to show it every chance I get. I just had someone text me, a principal, and she said, I just showed the video to my husband, Dr. Kedziora. And that's what we should be doing, is showing this to everyone in our community because of the wonderful things, the great things that happen here. And it really captures what we're trying to do here. So, Claudia, can you, are you doing it or they? Okay, thank you.
This is Moreno Valley Unified School District,
where we are shining brighter with excellence on purpose.
We're the 3rd largest district in Riverside County
and the 23rd largest in the state of California.
Our 33,000 students are soaring to new heights.
We believe all children are worth all of our efforts.
Our focus is on individual students and their unique needs.
Through innovative programs
and 21st century facilities.
With supportive teachers,
administrators,
classified staff,
Board of Education,
and community.
We graduate at a higher rate
than the county, the state, and the national average.
We are college and career ready.
نحن مختلف.
Con muchos diferentes pasados.
We are IB scholars.
STEAM innovators.
We are English learners.
Cyber patriots.
We are musicians and performers.
CIF champions.
We are dreamers.
But most importantly, we are tomorrow's leaders.
We are the future. When I grow up, I want to be a princess. I want to be a fireman,
Engineer.
animator.
I want to be an engineer for NASA.
When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
Because of Moreno Valley Unified School District, I am a college graduate.
We opened the doors of opportunity for the children of Moreno Valley. And this is our greatest year. So, Mr. Holguin, I don't want you to think about this any longer, because I want you to know that girls water polo versus Glendora at 4 o'clock at the Riverside Aquatics Complex at RCC. And I'm going to be there, Mr. Holguin. And then I know you can't be. I know that's hurting you. And then boys soccer versus Montclair, 5 p.m. at Valley View High School. And then girls basketball versus that, is that Chaminade? Chaminade. Oh, it's at 7 p.m. at Valley View High School. Now, I want you to know that this is really huge to get to this level and to this level of competition. I hope you'll all, the remaining people and anybody listening, go out and support these young people. It's amazing what they've accomplished. We're very proud of them. And every school, whatever level they got to in this. And then I want you to know the district had a spelling bee, and a fifth grader from, what school was she from? Cloverdale. Does it say that there? It does? Where? Oh, there it is on the top. I got to look for it. Okay. So there's the Riverside County Spelling Bee on Tuesday, March 19th at 9 o'clock. And so we're hoping the best for our speller. And then, you can't talk enough about the Cyber Patriot teams in our district, Donna Woods and Chris Loren, but they're not only competing at the state level, they're going to the national semifinals. And that's quite an accomplishment. And I hope you'll join them on Saturday, February 23rd at Moreno Valley College. There's going to be a community catered luncheon at 12 p.m., a community presentation at 12:30, and from 1:15 to 3:30 are the awards reception and presentation. That's amazing what these students have accomplished, and it's some of the best in the nation, what these kids do. And this started here in Moreno Valley, the Cyber Patriot program. It didn't begin somewhere else. And other people come see our program here in Moreno Valley because of how wonderful and how competitive these students are. And thank you, Donna Woods and Chris Lorenz. And then, we talk about students that may have other aspirations besides college. And every week, every board meeting, I try to highlight a program that students can take advantage of. At Bayside Community Day School, they have information and support. It's a services pathway. It's for real work experience as an information technology technician. They take CompTIA Plus certification, which qualifies them to have entry-level certification for computer technician upon completion of high school. And there's 23 pathways like this in the district where students are ready to work and ready for a career. In Cyber Patriot, that's another one of them, but where they can they can obtain employment once they've completed high school, if that's what they choose to do. I want you to know that I heard about another student tonight, but this is one student. His father is a parent ambassador in our district, Dr. Holmes, but Jahil Holmes from Moreno Valley High School got a full ride scholarship to Azusa Pacific University for football. We're very proud of him. And then I want you to know that our wrestlers advanced to the CIF Masters, and you heard tonight they're going to be Friday, February 15th. They start at 10 a.m. at Cerritos College, and that's the girls wrestling, and the boys wrestling is February 15th at 11 a.m. at Roosevelt High School in Eastvale. And so these students here are all advancing to the CIF Masters in our district. And we have, different coaches. There's Coach Lowe at Canyon Springs. There's Coach at, what's his name at Vista Del Lago, Maribel and Dr. Verdi. He teaches the CTE program. Y'all know him. Albie, yeah. Come on now, y'all help me out here. I'm going to be 60 in July. I can't remember everything. So, these coaches do amazing things with these children, and I want you to know they didn't have these skills before they went to school here. And so it's developed here, and we should all be very proud of that. I know, Jessica Garcia, your kids go to Citrus Valley, don't they? We beat your school on Saturday. and those girls are from Valley View. So it happens all over the place. It's hard for y'all, I know, but I tell you, bring your kids here. I want you to know Valley View High School has a mock trial team, and I hope you'll all join me in helping celebrate their accomplishment. They were in the Elite 8 last year for the county. There's 18 school districts in the county that have mock trial teams, and Valley View was in the Elite 8. So Wednesday, tomorrow, they compete at, they have, it's a rehearsal at 6 p.m. competition. They have February 20th at 6 p.m. and then the awards are Saturday, February 23rd at 2 o'clock at the Bournes Technology Center in Riverside. And I'm proud to say, if you look at the team there's their picture, and if you look at the other teams in Riverside County, you'll be proud to know that the children of our school district represent the children of our school district. And that's something that you don't see in other pictures of other school districts, so we're very proud of that. This Sunday, Mr. Holguin and myself and John Black were present, and we've returned middle school sports to our district, and Mountain View Middle, they took not one but 2 championships. It's indoor soccer. It's called futsal, right, Mr. Holguin?
Yes, it is.
I'd never heard of that before. It's indoor soccer tournament, but it's amazing what these kids, how they perform and compete. And I'm always excited when I get to go to this to see these young people perform. But this is a reason why Valley View is in the competition. It's in the CIF because these children all go to Valley View High School in soccer. So it's quite the preparation for them. Now, this next video I want to show you really quick is from Chris Weddle. He's our public information officer and his team. Denise Figueroa is back there in the sound booth tonight, and Christian Rivera is not here this evening. But they do an incredible job of capturing the district and the essence of it. And this is a series they're going to do that's Excellence on Purpose and Shining Brighter. But watch this student at Vista Del Lago High School.
My name is Ivan Del Carmen, and I was born with one hand, 1.5 arm. Well, I am the second oldest out of 3 kids. Every day when I go home, I start exercising for boxing because that's my favorite sport. I play basketball. I could juke just a little, but I'm not good. I used to like playing soccer a lot, but then I didn't really like it no more because I was too good. I've noticed that my peers have treated me the same as other kids, but there's only been a few that treated me a little different because they thought I couldn't do the things they could do. But I proved them wrong.
First week of school, Ivan shows up in my class, and I didn't immediately notice that he had a physical, difference compared to my normal students. And so I sat there, and all of a sudden I started demonstrating how to use the different saws and different tools, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that he was missing part of his arm. It took him a couple minutes, and next thing I know, I see him using the miter saw, which kind of scared me at first because I'm like, how's he operating this? And he had wedged his arm up in there in between the trigger part of the saw and was actually just making the motion to cut the saw, and he was cutting clean. It was safe. I mean, it was just not what you would typically expect to see in a normal situation with a student with both hands and both arms. In this class, I've got people with learning disabilities, I've got people with obviously physical disabilities, and they're all able to do this type of work. And that's what's real, exciting for me as a teacher of this type of program, is to see that there aren't limitations. It's their mental limitations is pretty much the only barriers that they have.
I want to be a pro boxer. I want to work on cars, or probably do construction, like making houses, doing the flooring. Those are the only 3 right now. If there's one thing I would want, would be for people not to judge a book by its cover, because you never know what they could do.
Isn't that something? Don't you clap? He can hear you from here. Chris Weddle, thank you and your team for the excellent work you did. The board is so appreciative of what you accomplish and do. We're very fortunate as a school district to have that kind of resource and talent that you provide, so thank you. I want you to know, if you didn't get to come to this STEAM Unity Expo, it was on Saturday, January 26th, the district hosted this. More than 1,000 people were there, and it was truly a dynamic event, but a real culmination, celebration of STEAM in our district, and truly emphasized that STEAM is for everyone, and was really well attended but well supported and participated. So we're going to repeat that again next year. And then the district has really grown in visual and performing arts, and the Honor Choir program is just one more way that MVUSD is demonstrating the value of arts education to our community. On Saturday, January 26th, that, if you missed this, I'm sorry, but the district choir composed about 100 students performed, and just amazing what they accomplished. Greg Solomon, who's the visual and performing arts coordinator, makes this happen, but Mr. Holguin was there, and Miss Dr. Locke, you were there, right? And Mr. Johnson, were you there?
No.
Oh, you weren't there. Okay. But, amazing program, and what our students accomplish and how they perform and their ability. They had a guest conductor there, and he was from an outside, college, university, and he said, and he didn't have to say this, but he said, how impressed he was with the level of these students' accomplishments and what they were able to do. I'm very excited to tell you about this because there's going to be a press release on February 14th. But 3 of our schools applied for, and one of our principals is here, Mrs. Brown, or 2 of them. Who's another one? Miss Kerr is here? Oh, Miss Johnson. Yeah, she is out in the hall, yeah. Thank you, Miss Brown. I love holding up those 2 fingers to me. But I want you to know that these schools are distinctive in that they have proven through a process where an outside team comes into their school. They are vetted by the school board was present at these. I was there. Miss Maddox was there. There was community members. There was business partners. There was all kinds of vetting. But they were vetted in the use of engaging learning approaches, able to provide evidence of student mastery in core subjects, how they involve community partners, including local colleges and universities and civic leaders and parents, and a commitment to college, career, and life readiness for students. In the nation, in the United States, 18 schools received this designation this year. Many more applied, did not receive it. 3 of those schools are from Moreno Valley Unified School District. Yeah. 3 out of 18 in the nation. Vista Heights Middle School, Valley View, Moreno Valley High School, and Valley View High School. You'll see a press release come out about that on February 14th. They have rules about when we can announce things and do things. And Chris, it's going to be a big deal, right? Yeah, you're going to make it like huge, right? Yeah. We're going to get it in all kinds of papers and magazines and journals and everything. So I want you to know that one of the things we've done in our LCAP is we started a Saturday school STEAM engagement and attendance recovery. And I want you to know that STEAM is a part of every school, and STEAM is a part of everything that we do. It's not something that's unique to one school. There's different ways of addressing it. But I want you to look at this. Nearly $150,000 in ADA revenue in 2 sessions on those Saturdays has been recouped. So we're very proud of Lynn Sheffield and Rafael Garcia and Student Services, how they've implemented this year, and it's off to a great start. And students go when we offer these programs, so we're very proud of that. We just had one last Saturday. Then I want you to know we have a program at Seneca Elementary School. We want students to transfer there because they offer an exciting program called Project Moving Forward. There was a parent meeting last night. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Holguin, and myself went to it. And they're offering Spanish and Mandarin to students through an easy-to-learn system of language and literacy. So it's a unique opportunity. It's a partnership with the University of California at Riverside, and it's unique to Seneca Elementary School. And I know Miss Lily Avila, you're the Director of English Learners, and you're proud of this program. So thank you for supporting it. And if you want more information, Miss Villa is here. So thank you. We're very proud of the History Day Awards in our district. More every year, we get more and more students participating in this. I want you to look at this. 45 projects, 80 students, There's 4 elementary students, 198 students participated, 4 elementary schools, Butterfield, Edgemont, Ramona, and Sunnymead, 5 middle schools, 4 high schools. Now, the County History Day is at Valley View High School on March 16th at 4 o'clock. So Miss Claudia Harrigy, which one of these are going on to the county of these? Do you remember? Well, these were the ones at the district competition.
So on the right-hand side, those are the county.
So all of those are going to the county? The 80 students, right? Okay. 80 students from our district are going on to the county. Isn't that something, Miss Boynheld? You were part of this. Yeah, thank you. And I want you to look at those elementary schools at Butterfield, Edgemont, Ramona, and Sunnymead. Now, I'm telling you, every kid's able to do a History Day project. When I looked at what happened at Ramona Elementary School, those kids are going on to the county. So it just takes passion, persistence, someone to take an interest and develop this in each of our schools, but we're very proud of this. Our science fair is what's called our district annual science and engineering fair. There were 227 projects this year entered in this year's annual science and engineering fair with a total of 270 students. That's the most we've ever had. 35 projects are going on to the county science and engineering fair with a total of 47 students because they do group projects. And I want you to know that well, if you were there on Friday, Carol Boynheld, you were there. You know, I think all of the board except for Mrs. Smith was there, and it was truly an amazing academic event. And the multi-purpose room at Bridges was just full of parents and students who were thrilled about being a scientist and being an engineer. We're very proud that our Moreno Valley Arts, a School of Arts and Innovation, Miss Brown, that you're creating over there at Moreno Valley. And thank you, Miss Dagnott, for working with the facilities people to make sure that construction is going to begin. It's estimated, it said to start in June. Is that a firm date? I'm going to be like that parent. I'll estimate it, okay. And it's estimated to be completed in January of 2021. Won't that be exciting, Miss Brown? And it's going to seat approximately 650 people, but it's going to be much more than a theater. It's going to be a performing arts complex.
I'm excited about it too.
Okay, well, I'm proud of you. That's great. Is that because it's in your area?
It's just down the street from my house.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're all going to be really proud when it opens. And then, I don't know if you've driven around, but you've seen it out here. You know, I mean, Tina Dagnott gets stuff done. I don't know if y'all know this, but did y'all see all this solar go up out here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've been talking about that for I don't know how many years here, and all of a sudden it starts to appear. You know, there's a reason. Thank you. And that's going to help us with our general fund because we're going to have savings from, you know, all of this, and that's important with rising cost. So it's a wonderful thing. And if you look on the next page or the next slide, you'll see that all of these schools and district offices are going to have solar panels installed very soon. You'll start to see there's shade structures that are put in. You already saw at Vista del Lago. They have a shade structure over where the students eat now, and that's a wonderful thing. And then Proposition 39, these are schools in years 3 through 5. They're going to have new air conditioning and lighting, and the construction started in December, and 12 sites are scheduled for these upgrades. So you're going to see a lot of improvements in the school district. So I hope you'll join me at Black History Celebrations. We have 2 options. We offer them on both sides of the freeway. Vista Heights Middle School on the 21st from 6 to 8, or Landmark Middle School on the 28th from 6 to 8. And we have guest speakers, and there's going to be all kinds of excitement. I think it's going to be standing room only, but I hope you'll all come and join us and support that. It's very important. If you're interested in being a principal for a day, I don't know who you are right there, sir. Who are you? Uh-huh.
I'm with Gabe. I'm bringing a station to your site.
Oh, okay, you're here because you're waiting for the vote on that, right? Okay, I'm taking up time, but But I want you to know we have principal for a day, and I thought maybe if you were interested, there's applications back there if you'd like to come shadow a principal. Miss Brown, have you found somebody yet? Okay, I'm proud of you. Is there another principal in here back there still, or is that Miss Kerr? Miss Kerr, do you have somebody yet? Do you need somebody? Mr. Ashley, do you want to be a principal for a day? Yeah, there's an applicant. Mr. Weddle, go take him an application. Okay, you could be with Mrs. Kerr back there at Canyon Springs High School, and she needs somebody, and that way she won't have to even think about it anymore. And she's looking forward to, she'd like that a lot. And then on February 25th through March 1st, Carol Boyne-Held is here. Hold up your hand, Miss Boyne-Held. She's excited to offer a Reading Across America, which will culminate in a reading festival on Saturday, March 2nd at the Moreno Valley Mall. She's looking for volunteers. She's looking for readers. There's a flyer back there, and it has readers on the back, people who to contact on the back. And all of you people, Jessica Garcia, Jim Burleson, the man that's waiting for the contract, you can all be a reader in the district. And you can sign up for this. Mr. Barney, you can sign up to do this. Miss Carla Leiter, you could sign up and take some snacks and treats to these kids. And you can do it too. Yeah. We need people, so sign up and get one of these flyers. They're back there on the counter.
Dr. Kedziora, I'd just like to say that you can either choose your own favorite book to bring, or the teacher can select one for you from the classroom.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. I want to remind everybody about kindergarten registration. We'd like for every child that's eligible to sign up for kindergarten as soon as possible. The registration begins on March 4th. They're going to have different events happen. And, you can find this on the website, right, Chris Weddle? And you can find it where else? At the registration center, the Welcome and Registration Center at each school site. It's going to be on social media. So help children get registered for school. And then we have so many things happening. This is the hard part, to get all this in. But the elementary art exhibit on Saturday, February 23rd at 2 to 4 p.m. at the Riverside Art Museum. I want you to know, Mr. Holguin and I went to this. You wouldn't believe how children and families feel when they see their art displayed in an actual museum. It really touches the family, the student gets excited, but what a connection to the community. So I hope you'll join us in celebrating the arts and coming out and doing that. But then we have this on March 6th, Mr. Holguin, who is with Create California, is supporting the arts education in Riverside County. It's going to be at the Palm Springs Art Museum on March 6th. It's featuring Moreno Valley Unified School District, and there'll be 4 superintendents that will be featured at this. One is me, one is Sandy Lyon, who's the superintendent of Palm Springs, and one is the superintendent in Alford. I can't think of his name right now. And Dr. Judy D. White, who's the county superintendent. But we're going to have a panel. And all day it's going to be about the arts. There's going to be different sessions. People are coming from all over the state to this, and it's going to bring a lot of acclaim and attention to Moreno Valley. We're very proud of that. In the back of the room, Chris Weddle, our public information officer, has their transfer forms back there also. But you do have a choice. You can go to any school in our district. Every school has space. Some has less space, but we can work to help. But we have different programs at our schools, and they're all listed on here. And if you know someone, Jessica Garcia, that's thinking about a better district, you could bring this to them and show them this. They're in English and Spanish. And help them make a great decision for their child and have them come to our school district. We have everything every child needs. And, if you need help or want to tour a school, I'll be glad to take you. Also, I don't know if Miss Johnson's still in the hall, is she? Or did she leave? Miss Brown, did she leave? She's still in the hall, okay. Well, she got an award on Friday. She got an award from the Unforgettable Foundation for the Biggest Heart Award. She's brought 21st century education to her school, as well as a 94% graduation rate, and she's an educational visionary of the future. Very proud of that accomplishment. You can see Ms. Smith was there, Dr. Locke, and Mr. Johnson to support her. Thank y'all for being there. And then Greg Solomon received an award the Roberts Greenwald Award for Field Adjudication by the Southern California School Band and Orchestra Association. It's just an example of the quality of the people that work here and how they are recognized throughout the community and the nation for what they accomplish. And tonight, as I close, I'd like to recognize Dr. Michelle King, who was the first African-American superintendent to lead the Los Angeles School District. She was a transformational leader who deeply cared about students, staff, and administration, from seeking in earnest to promote equitable education outcomes for the most vulnerable students to launching the innovative Girls Academic Leadership Academy single-gender school, which bears her name. Dr. King had the ability to cast a strong vision and inspire others to accomplish it alongside her, and she passed away recently on February 2nd, 2019. And I want you to know I had a chance to meet her when she became superintendent, and it wasn't that long after I became superintendent, and I was at something where she was, and I want you to know she's truly a visionary and inspirational, but she touched my life, and I would like to be like her in what I do here in Moreno Valley, what she did in Los Angeles the short time she was superintendent, but she really demonstrated and lived her purpose. And then I'd like to say that each person must live their life as a model for others. Memories of our lives, of our works and our deeds will continue in others. I'd like to be known as a person who is concerned about freedom and equality and justice and prosperity for all people. And that's Rosa Parks. And I was out in the hallway out there. They have a display out there about segregation and integration and the buses out there. And I saw these kids made these out there, and it's on display in our hallway. And I grew up in that time period in the South. I went to a school that was all white, and then they integrated the schools, and I was there for forced busing. And I want you to know that it matters what people did, and sometimes they didn't know that it mattered, but it mattered. And when you see that display out there of what these children learned about today, it shows the purpose in one's life and how their legacy continues. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Katsura. That was a great report, as usual. So we have one item pending here in the agenda. That's the staff responses to public comments. Do you have any responses?
I have no responses. They've all been addressed.
We have already done the public comments on agenda and non-agenda items. So we're ready to go into the consent agenda. The consent agenda is F. And the list of items included in the consent agenda is there, F1, F2, F3, and F4. And I would entertain a motion second to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hogan?
Aye. The consent agenda is approved. So next item is F4, Human Resources. No, I'm sorry. G, action items. First item is student discipline cases, G1A, student discipline cases. Need a motion and a second to approve actions on student disciplinary cases as presented.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Need a second, please.
I second it.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hogan?
Aye. That item is approved as presented. Next item is G1B, approve low-performing students block grant funds spending plan. Ms. Maddox, do you have information on this item, please?
Yes, I do. We're asking board approval for to approve the low-performing students block grant funds spending plan. These are one-time grant funds. They're available to school districts with students identified as not meeting standards on the 2016-17 administration of the CASP test and who are not eligible for supplemental grant funding under our local control funding formula or special educational services. Funds are available for expenditures or encumbrance through the 2020-21 fiscal year. And only 2% of our Moreno Valley Unified School District students were identified needing this additional support.
That was my question. About 2%.
About 2%. about 700 students in our district.
Any questions or comments?
I want the board to know this is not really a grant. We didn't apply for it. We are given this money to assist these students who did not master standards. And it's really not, I mean, Mr. Holguin and I have talked about this. They're really not low performing. They're just students who haven't mastered the standards. And this is an opportunity for these schools that have these students to address their issues and concerns. And there's a plan that's developed for each of them. And I think in your board packet, your backup, you got a copy of that plan, right?
It's in there.
Yeah, it's in there, okay.
Dr. Kazia, I'm glad you mentioned that and that you and I talked about this. And I just have to express my feeling about this, and not the program itself, but the title of the program. To me, it's, it sounds very negative when we talk about low-performing students. When we're trying to motivate students to stay in school and to excel in school and to, have the entire team working on behalf of the students, and then having this title as low-performing students, to me, it's kind of a little bit of destructive. So I just wanted to make that comment. In fact, I even asked Dr. Kitsuori if there was a way to change this title to something more positive, because, I don't.
And I want you to know, Mr. Holguin did ask that, and I had Lisa Brimfield contacted the California Department of Education, and they requested that in order to, because we have to show this on a board agenda that we approved it, and that you approved it, the board, and they asked us not to tweak any language about the grant, the block grant, that we keep it as it was intended. But they do know that we didn't like that it was called low-performing students.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Well, I think as long as we periodically let the folks in Moreno Valley know the meaning of that, because I initially thought these were all kids failing.
That's an important point. These are students that on the CASP, they score. There's 4 different levels, and they scored at the lower. There's 2 lower levels. And these are the students that scored on the 2 lower levels. There's meets or exceeds, and there's met, stand, nearly met, and then, approaching. And so these students, they scored like what they call a 3 or a 4 in that area. And that's why it's for the CASP. It's not for grades or things like that. It's how they scored on that test. And, Mr. Johnson, you were at the LCAP meeting yesterday. And so you heard from a presenter about how students are asked to do more and utilize skills that we didn't have to use previously. The depth of knowledge that you heard about, DOK levels, so people don't know what I'm talking about when I say some of this stuff. But the strategic thinking that's used, and they have to defend themselves on a test, it's not just answer a question, like 2 + 2 is 4. It's why is 2 + 2 4, and how did you arrive at that answer, and be able to share that and demonstrate it. And so it's very different than what we took, in our lives and other people. So principals and teachers are working on it. It's a lot to, get people to, follow that. Parents even struggle with helping their children. I mean, I struggle when I look at some of the work that kids have to do today, how to help them or understand it. So this is important, and it's important for us to use this to help those students to move forward.
Very good.
All right, with all that, I would entertain a motion in a second.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept this.
Need a second, please.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye. So that item is approved as presented. Next item is the H1A from the Business Services, authorization of parent community booster clubs. Ms. Taknal, you have information?
Yeah, as we continue to approve different booster clubs throughout the year after they've submitted all the required paperwork and signatures, et cetera, we bring these to approval. So we have an additional booster club that we're asking for approval tonight.
And I want the board to know that when Mr. Holguin and I did a gender review, that Mr. Holguin asked that we not just list the club that's being approved, that he asked that we put the other clubs that are approved, so you have a record of what's being added. And I want you to know that's at his request, and I hope this helps you in understanding that it's not just that one club or booster club that you've approved others and they're part of that.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Dagnott, for making that change.
Yes, that's a great information item there. In addition to the one booster club that we're approving this evening, we approve it. That's a whole list and not just that one. So do you have any questions, any comments on that item?
No.
If not, I would entertain a motion and a second to approve the authorization for this.
So moved.
Second, please.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke? Aye. Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye. And that item is approved as presented. Next item is H1B, Resolution Number 2018-1959 of the Board of Education of the Moreno Valley Unified School District granting easements required and concurrent with power purchase agreement previously awarded to California Solar One LLC, a subsidiary of Engie Services US. Ms. Dagnall.
Yeah, this is a resolution granting access or an easement to all of the schools that are receiving solar panels. So this actually grants the access for Engie through this power purchase agreement for the installation, operation, and maintenance of the solar panels.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that was myself. Okay. Well, if there's any more questions, I'd like to make a motion that we accept this.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this item. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye. So this item is approved as presented. Next item is H2A under Human Resources. Approved memorandum of understanding between the Moreno Valley Unified School District and Moreno Valley Educators Association. Early notification of separation incentive plan. Dr. Verdi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Holguin. We are bringing forward a memorandum of understanding for the board's approval. As you explained, Mr. Holguin, it's the early notification of separation incentive plan, and participants for this plan would receive $1,500 for informing the district of their intention to separate from the district or to retire. We've brought this forward the last several years in collaboration with MVEA, and it really has given the district an opportunity to be very proactive about staffing. We're approaching springtime. It's the prime recruiting time. Our in-house job fair, local university job fairs are around the corner, and having an idea of individuals' intentions to potentially retire, let's say, really gives us a chance to go after some of those difficult positions to fill. We were very proud at the beginning of this year being able to open our doors fully staffed, and this was a reason that I think contributed to that. So we're bringing it forward again for board approval.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on the board? If not, we need a motion and a second to approve this item as presented.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second that.
There is a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Holguin?
Aye. So that item is approved 4-0. Next item, H2B, approved memorandum of understanding between the Moreno Valley Unified School District and the Moreno Valley Educators Association for monetary incentive for difficult-to-fill positions in math, science, and special education. Dr. Verdi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Holguin. This item, I believe, goes hand in hand with the one that the board just approved, and it is another year of this. We offered this last year as well in collaboration with MVEA, developing an incentive program for individuals looking to come to Moreno Valley Unified and teach. It is a $3,000 offering as an incentive for signing with our school district, and it is in those difficult-to-find areas that Mr. Holguin just mentioned, mathematics, science, and and special education, and it's structured in such a way so that it encourages these new employees to stay with us be up to year 3. So they get a portion of it from the onset, and then by the completion of year 3, they would have received the entire $3,000. And again, I think going into recruiting season last year, this was a significant help to us in signing some of these difficult to fill positions, and I believe it will also be an asset to us again this year.
Great. Any questions, comments? If not, we'll entertain a motion, a second, to approve this item as presented.
I move that we approve the signing bonus incentive for hard-to-fill positions.
I second.
There's a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoaging?
Aye. That item is approved as presented. Next item is H2C. Approve Board Resolution Number 2018-19-28, reduction and or elimination of certain classified bargaining unit positions effective February 13, 2019. Dr. Berti, please.
Thank you. This is a regular item we bring forward in order to eliminate from the books any vacant positions that are no longer in use at school sites. We sit down with CSCA and collaboratively review the process and the affected positions and ensure that none of our employees are losing hours or losing a position, but there's usually a effect where these employees are moved to positions that are needed. So this is just an elimination of vacancies.
Any questions, comments? No, we need a motion, a second, to approve this item as presented.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this item.
I second it.
There's a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Locke?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Hoaging?
Aye. So the item is approved as presented. Next item is I, comments from board members and superintendent. We'll start with Ms. Smith.
Thank you. I would like to start with a little item, and I hope it's not too long. There's so many good things happening in our school district, but before I get into that, I'd like to read a little part from an article in the New York Times entitled "School Choice is the Enemy of Justice" by Erin Aubrey Kaplan, an author on race and writing instructor at Antioch University. She wrote, in 1947, my father was one of a small group of black students at the largely white Fremont High School in South Central Los Angeles. The group was met with naked hostility, including a white mob hanging blacks in effigy. But such painful confrontations were the nature of progress, of fulfilling the promise of equality that had driven my father's family from Louisiana to Los Angeles in the first place. In 1972, I was one of a slightly bigger group of black students bused to a predominantly white elementary school in Westchester, a community close to the beach in Los Angeles. While I didn't encounter the overt hostility my father had, I did experience resistance. Still, I believed, even as a fifth grader, that education is a social contract and that Los Angeles was uniquely suited to carry it out. Los Angeles would surely accomplish what Louisiana could not. I was wrong. Today, Los Angeles and California as a whole have abandoned integration as the chief mechanism of school reform and embraced charter schools instead. This has happened all over the country, of course, but California has led the way. It has 630,000 students in charter schools, more than any other state, and the Los Angeles Unified School District has more than 154,000 of them. Because of charter schools, California schools have become the most segregated schools in the nation, more segregated than schools in the South, more segregated than Louisiana, Alabama, or any of those places. Perhaps it should come as no surprise that in 2010, researchers at Civil Rights Project at UCLA found in a study of 40 states and several dozen municipalities that black students in charters are much more likely than their counterparts in traditional public schools to be educated in an intensely segregated setting. The report says that while charters had more potential to integrate because they are not bound by school district lines, charter schools make up a separate, segregated sector of our already deeply stratified public school system. This is something that I personally cannot support. This is not a reason to deny a charter school application. We had other reasons for denying tonight that were pointed out to us by our legal team, but it's something that I personally feel strongly about and hate to see perpetrated in our school district or any other, really. Now I'd like to just take a minute to talk about a couple of good things happening right here in Moreno Valley. I was privileged to go to a lot of different things, including the presentation honoring Mrs. Johnson, our Valley View principal, and it was great to be there with her and to support her during that time. I also went to the 3rd Annual Youth Summit, which Moreno Valley Unified School District puts on a regular basis. Is that an annual deal?
Yes.
Yes, where they had workshops on mental health, graduation options, leadership, and many other workshops to help our students, and these were predominantly, I think, foster youth. Were they predominantly foster youth?
Yes.
Yes. So it was great to be there, to see the kids so excited about what they were doing and what they were learning. I also went with Mr. Johnson. It was just the two of us over at Badger Springs School for a reading night, and it was a lot of fun to see the kids getting excited about some of the opportunities that they had. They had a huge number of families there. I was surprised. Did they say they had over 300 people signing up? They had a lot of people. As a teacher, I know how hard it was to get parents out and students out to those nightly, like reading night or math night, and you just have a few people come. But on this occasion, there were so many parents and students there. It was exciting to see them and to see them taking advantage of that opportunity to get enthusiastic about reading. A friend of mine who teaches 5th grade in another school district said to me just a week or so ago, well, the kids in my class just don't want to read. How do you get them excited about reading? You know, come to Moreno Valley. I said, so what's the district doing to support you? He said, well, really nothing. I said, well, you should be working here. What could I say? Where we support reading and support enthusiasm for reading in our students. We also, I think we all went to the STEAM Unity Expo. It was great to see so many families, so many teachers, so many people giving of their time to come and support our students and help them and see what they could do in STEAM. And we had a lot of workshops and a lot of things that the kids were finding exciting. I'm going to end with that and say just I'm happy to be here in Moreno Valley, and I wish everybody could see the things that I see and be so enthusiastic about the schools here in Moreno Valley and the great stuff that we're doing. Thank you. Dr. Locke, your turn.
It's my turn? Okay.
Yes.
I'm actually going to say something. I really want to make a special note tonight on the powerful message that I felt was portrayed on the video about the student at Vista del Lago and that was enrolled in the CTE program. And especially a note about the instructor, you know, and his acceptance and the idea that he focused on, you know, the student's ability and did not see him and his arm as a disability. And I think that message needs to be, that video was so powerful. I'd like to see it used as much as possible because there's nothing like talking to the student, you know. And last but not least, I want to commend the superintendent, the board, making sure I don't forget anyone, the superintendent, the board, cabinet, and school site staff for the focus on visual and performing arts. I think with the district, you know, I take no credit because it all started before I got on the board, but to see what's happening in the district, you know, and the students being able to give the opportunity to participate, and you know, and just having their uniforms, so when they go out in public, you know, they look professional. And I noted too that we are now also focusing on a special education, you know, and including them in that. So anyhow, I want to, you know, thank everyone, you know, and we are doing great things in the district.
Done?
I'm done.
Okay, I had a long list, but I'm not gonna do it because it's time for us to go home. But I do want to just again, congratulate all of the students that came up tonight, along with their teachers and the principals. Sometimes we can take that for granted. You know, every Tuesday we have meetings, you know, we go through this. And I think if we allow ourselves, if we notice this happening every time we have a meeting, we can just look over it. But just know that those students are very proud and they're very happy to be receiving awards and being recognized. And I think the administrators, I shouldn't say I think, the administrators and teachers that support those students, they are just as proud and happy. I like to see as much of it as possible. In fact, anytime anybody do anything great in the district, I like to see us continue to do that. So I know tonight was a long night, and that just simply means we'll just cut down on our closing comments. But thank you again, Dr. Ketziora, for making sure that we recognize all of those folks who work hard to get our students to where they are today. I mentioned earlier too about Footsteps of Freedom. I don't know who's all attended that, or gone through it, or thinking about it. But if you heard some of the things that I said, I went, but I did not want to go. I thought I knew everything that was to be known, and I didn't want to see things that was going to make me even more upset, do it like that. But it is very, very educational. It is something to behold. I think that once you go and you return, if you're not a changed person, there's something wrong. And Mrs. Smith's daughter had an opportunity to, we had an opportunity to go together. Initially, she was sitting behind me, so she didn't have a chance to see me. And I was pretty happy about that because I was trying to hide. But then on the way home, she moved up closer to me, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
I got
so
the word
she's
on
going
you.
to see me, drop a few tears. Now, we've all seen Dr. Ketziora, and I wonder sometimes, how can he do that? I don't think I can do it in front of people, but I did. I did it in front of people, and there was no shame or embarrassment about it. I know I'm trying to make a little light of it, but just know that it is something, it's an experience that I think America should be more aware of, and see how people helped those that were struggling. And so I want to close with my quote. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenges and controversy. And that's from Dr. Martin Luther King. The thing is, when you go on his footsteps of freedom, this statement that he made right here, it highlights just exactly how you would feel when you go on that tour and exactly when you come back. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. So the first thing I'd like to say is that the denial of the charter school tonight, it's not that we didn't have a plan to deny just for denying, like Ms. Smith says. There was not just because. And I take very seriously the work of the administration and the time and the effort that was put into the review of this application, not only one time, but 2 times. And also, I take very seriously the work of the professionals, the attorneys that work very closely with the district in these types of situations. And this is not the first time. We've gone through this several times already. But when we have 2 teams, separated teams, and then they come together and they come to the same conclusion, and again, because of the professionals on the educational side, the professionals on the legal side, to me, there's no question about the reasons for not denying the petition. If there was some controversy and they were not in agreement, or there was something different, then maybe we could have looked at it a different way. But I think they were all in agreement, so that helped us, and we received a lot of information. Not tonight. We received it way ahead of time. We had enough time to read it, to go through it, to analyze it, and we were, I believe, properly informed to make the decision that we made tonight. So I thank my colleagues. We were all in agreement, and I think we made the right decision. But I have to say that the work that the district does for every student in the district is just amazing, and it's being seen every single day. I mean, this is the reports that we see tonight from the superintendent, the awards that we see every board meeting. It's just one piece. But if you go to any school during the week, anytime during the day, whether you go to the classroom when the instruction is taking place, or you go in the evening when you see meetings or performances, you will see the quality of instruction that is taking place in every classroom in the district. And that does not exclude any child. All the children are included in those activities, in that instruction, and all of them are receiving the proper services, the services that I believe they are receiving the services they deserve. And there's always room for improvement, yes, but I don't feel that there is any distinction of providing services to only a certain group of students and denying it to others. So I think we made the right decision this evening. I'm not going to repeat some of the comments that were already made, so I'm going to go real quick on this. I want to thank the district, the superintendent, for allowing the CABE, the California Association of Bilingual Education Riverside chapter meeting to take place at Edgemont, and for being there to greet the people that came to that meeting. It's great to have those kinds of meetings with parents that come from not only from within the district, but from other districts as well. We have active participation in the Friends of Forensics activities. That's speech competitions for the students at middle and high school, and great participation from this district. We're looking to expand it to include the elementary children to a certain level of beginning speech and understanding. So those activities hopefully will make it work with the district in the near future. I want to mention this. One of the evenings, a couple of weeks ago or a week ago or so, I went to Canyon Springs High School, and there was a math literacy night. And I was a little disappointed, not with staff, not with the school. I was a little disappointed that there were no parents there. And, nobody to blame on this. But I just wanted to see if, working with the superintendent, his staff, if we can help the schools when they have these kinds of activities to promote them, not only within that school community, but maybe district-wide, so that other parents that, even if they don't attend that school, they can go and participate in these activities and learn from what is happening at the school, especially when you have that open transfer opportunities. Other parents can come just to the meeting and then learn about that school and get interested in the transfer. So my point is, can we help the students to promote these activities on a district-wide basis? During the last couple of weeks, we had the visit of two Riverside County Office of Education board members. One of them came and had a great conversation with us and learned a lot about the programs in the district. We just sat and talked about it, so he learned a lot about what was happening in the district he didn't know. He was surprised, he was pleased, and he walked away, I believe he was happy with what he heard. The other board member came and actually visited schools and visited programs, and he was very impressed. And you could tell because he was there enjoying and even talking to the children and looking at the different facilities and learning and asking questions. So I think these two board members enjoyed a lot what is happening here. And I think that was very helpful. And
who were they?
One was Mr. Cousins, from RCOE board member,
Yeah.
Mr. Cousins, and the other one was Mr. Curtis.
Curtis, okay, yeah.
Mr. Curtis visited the schools, and Mr. Cousins, we just had the conversation. It was mentioned I went to the Moreno Valley High School Parent Summit on a Saturday. It was well attended. Great breakout sessions, great speakers, and that's again one of those activities when we have the parent engagement at that school. And I believe this was the 9th annual the Parent Summit, so that was a great thing that is continuing year after year. Let's see. You know, Dr. Katsura mentions a lot about what is happening in the district, what staff is doing, and, you know, at the schools and students and parents and all that, but he forgot to mention what he is doing. And he is a great supporter of the Salvation Army. And all of us had the opportunity to go to the Salvation Army luncheon when he was the MC, and he did an excellent job, not only as an MC, but also portraying the message of the connection between the school district and the Salvation Army, and how, you know, all that support that exists that is helping the families, and the families that are, you know, within the school district through the Salvation Army, and the opposite too. So I just want to say congratulations, Dr. Katsura. Well, good job at that activity, at that luncheon as MC, and good messages too. And also, congratulations for the award that you received this past Saturday night with the African American Coalition. And it was great to see you receiving the award from this very important group in the community. And that says a lot as to what you are doing for that community, because for them to look at you and to give you the award, I think that's very important, that's very significant, because for them to select him as the first non-African American individual to get this recognition, I think has a lot of weight. So I want to say congratulations for that. And
Can I just say one thing? I'm sorry, I know my turn is over.
Absolutely.
But when they announced Dr. Kedziora's name as receiving the award, he received a standing ovation from everyone in the room. So it was just great to see that and to see him recognized.
Yes. And he does a lot of work not only for, you know, certain communities, he does it for everybody in the community. And you know, when he's asked to do certain things, especially for the children, he jumps at it right away. Well, sometimes not right away, but she jumps at it anyway. like he was asked to come to Northridge on Monday and greet the students in his costume as Captain America, and he hesitated, but eventually he said, "I'll do it, and I'll do it for the children." And he was there. He was then very early in the morning, and he was freezing cold, but he was there with his outfit and greeting the students. And I think that's another demonstration of, you know, how much he cares about the students, and he wanted to make sure that he greeted them at that school. So, you know, just proved one more time what he's doing in our community. And again, I just want to say congratulations to all the recipients, all the people that received recognition this evening. And thank you to everybody who had anything to do with this board meeting. I think it was very informative. It was great. It was very peaceful as compared to many other board meetings that we've had in the past. And I want to say to the people that are sitting here at this point, thank you for staying this late. And the people that are not here, hopefully they watch this, not the movie, but the video, and especially the report from the superintendent. I think there's a lot of great information there. It's just one piece of many things that are happening in the district. So thank you all. Thank you, colleagues, for such a great work this evening. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Holguin. I want to thank the board. I want to thank the cabinet. And I especially want to thank you for being there Saturday night to support me with that award. I was very touched, and I want to thank the African American Coalition that selected me, because I was very honored. My sister today was calling the newspaper in Tennessee, and she said, I read about this online, and she said, you're the first white person to get this award. This is a big thing for us. And she said, I want to make sure it gets in the newspaper here. Why haven't you called me? And I thought, I don't know. But, I really appreciate it. I do. And I want to tell you that when I heard some of the comments tonight about our district and when the charter application, I do want to have 3 rebuttals. One talked about that we have a very low reclassification rate. I don't know if you all know, but we have a grant called Families for College. and it's cited as research on it's on the California Department of Education website. It's also in the the education website for the government, ed.gov, for the nation. And we received a national award and a grant for Families for College. And this grant has an 85 or 83% reclassification rate. And it's documented and well researched. There was just an article written about us in a research document about what was accomplished here. So sometimes when facts are lifted or manipulated, they're not truly what represents what's out there. You know, one can take one thing, or they may not know everything, but if you don't work here and you don't know what's really happening, you might misunderstand some things. And then another comment was made that, about the access to college. And I do want you to know we have work to do, and I'm not disagreeing that we have work to do, but there has been so much progress made with students taking A through G coursework, and there's much higher access than 70% don't have access, but that's a work in progress. And then the other thing was about the suspensions of black and brown students. That's simply not true. That there's 6 times more suspended here, and I want you to know that for the past 2 years, the district has received 31 PBIS awards. There are 40 schools, 31, and they're out in the hallway out there. 31 awards for PBIS implementation and the reduction of suspensions and expulsions, and 29 this year. And, that's a great testament to what's happening in our schools. But we were also cited as just being disproportionate for African American suspensions and expulsions just 2 years ago, and we're no longer cited for that. That was removed as an item of compliance, and the district is no longer disproportionate. So, I know that people want things, but they shouldn't want things that make us sound bad, because there are many great things happening. There is much to do, and we are continuing to work on that. But I just think it's important for the public to know that we too care about all students who are marginalized, disenfranchised, and students who have not been served well by the system, and continue to look for ways to address those students' needs in a very dedicated way, which is part of why we have all these programs that we do. The board was recently at a meeting. We've established an international baccalaureate pathway, which is at Vista Heights Middle School and Canyon Springs High School, and will be extended to an elementary school. When the team came to visit, the board was all there, and one of the things the team said that we're visiting, because you have to have a visiting team that certifies you, was they had never seen the kind of district support that they saw in this district. And that's a large testament to the board's dedication and their tireless efforts to be present at many events. And Chris Weddle one time said to me, "Dr. Kidzor, why is it that our board and you are always at everything?" And I said, because we're not taking this for granted, Chris. We have to create excellence on purpose. We have to model what we expect. And if we expect others to be there, we have to be there. We can't simply think it's going to happen. So you have to know that you have a Board of Education that cares and that they're here to support the students. And, Mrs. Garcia, I'm proud of you for being here so late. I know you live in Redlands, and it's a long trip back there. But, on Saturday, when the girls won against your team at Citrus Valley, and, we have a mutual friend there between us, Heidi Vasquez, who's a principal in Redlands. She said, and I want to end this tonight because this was from her, she said, "Tell the coach and the girls they certainly were the better team today." You know how much I loved hearing that? They were aggressive and scrappy, and parents were super well behaved, which isn't always the case. I still love seeing the coach get a yellow card. That is so awesome and shows how passionate he is. Kids already had the game won, but he wasn't going to take a bad call. It made me smile, and I was really proud. And I said, I shared this with the coach and the girls at Valley View, But one of the things that she said to me was, they are a very good team. She kept texting me throughout the thing. They're very aggressive. And I said, our kids know how to be aggressive. Teaching them where and how to use it is what we do. Thank you, Heidi. So I look forward to tomorrow's soccer, water polo, girls, basketball, and the wrestling team this weekend. And I want to congratulate all of our teams on all of their hard work to get to the levels they have. Thank you.
So with that, this meeting is adjourned at 10:28 p.m. Thank you so much for being here this late.
That's double time, isn't it? That's double time, isn't it? 10:28.